Sean Atwood. Remember that?
Yeah. Victims, survivors, the aim of going out after people speaking. You're communicating here in regards to Emma. The person that she works with have been going after people with mental health, survivors of all sorts. They've been doing it for many years. So Emma's very aware of what's going on.
Emma was once a part of it though, wasn't she?
Once a part of whatever she claims she's not aware of right now, but she's very aware. The fake calling into my panel on the 20th of May, 2023. I mean, her hooking up with Helen James. You couldn't get more serious than barristers and reporters being a part of a group that target victims and survivors of abuse. So this is all very locked. It's not to get into the gang war, but clearly as somebody who doesn't know your circles or all of what's going on, only from the Daddy Gate, I found it very alarming that Emma was putting my picture out there, trying to incite violence, harm, alarm, and distress towards my way. Yeah. So this is a tactic continuously used. Before, I believed she must be a victim because she was claiming she had her windows smashed. Either way, look, it led to her getting other men to try and target me. Now, if one of them's gone through a domestic violence and has been on a documentary because she's been battered and beaten, why would she promote men to try and attack and target and beat and batter me? That's just one. And then on the other hand, you've got these vulnerable adults who clearly the local authority are protecting, because under the Care Act 2014, there should be a Section 42 inquiry when it comes to vulnerable adults. And putting on people with autism, ADHD, whatever it may be, that seems to be the target. Autism, Asperger's, ADHD, quick and easy to pick on and go after people with those.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Now, with what I've seen with everything that goes on these YouTube platforms, I couldn't give a flying monkey about the gang war in the north. It's really, really, really couldn't. My issue is, how does a man know that you were getting sent down 2 days prior of actually getting recalled to prison?
Well, her mate, Helen has a lot of connections. No, they've all got connections. It is what it is. Those who are playing the victim are silencing genuine victims and survivors with any substance to actually bring to the table. Keeping the war going is making content, it's making money, it's exploiting victims and survivors and traffic victims 10 times further.
Oh, yeah.
So all it is a money-making, the YouTube, it's not about gangs, it's the concern that people who are claiming to be victims or claiming to be scared and worried, that the actions that Emma is doing, that's not the actions of somebody who's claiming to be scared, worried, and doing all of that when she's putting other females at the risk that she has.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So it's not just females, it's males as well. But I'm just saying, if there's a male fight, an argument, that's between the men. But now it's become on top, and information's coming out, then jump ship. Yeah.
If you're looking at me, once you say that you've lied and talked constantly, actually saying that you're not a liar, these are bullying me, it's actually coercive U-turn of actually what they are doing.
There's non-stop posts going out that are lying. For example, a post, there's an issue with an account that I had, don't speak to the person, but I am a humble arsehole is not humble dryer. But Emma has put that up as though that is. So it's just little things like that bug me when you're putting out stuff claiming it to be the truth. You're putting up lots of disinformation. And what ultimately you're doing is trying to incite violence, aggression, in some cases. What's the end outcome? Because it's not to get allied answers.
There's no outcome, right? And I'll say it how it is. There's no outcome from this whatsoever. You've got one man sitting on a farm, living the high life because he doesn't have to say nothing and will not get sent down for anything you can do. Now, playing victim with what he's doing is to try get him off a car, trying to get him off anything necessary for him to be scot-free, living a high life, living a good life. When this man, in general, has caused so much conflict on the social media networks that he's got to sit there and use other people to fight battles, deflect different circumstances and situations onto others, and try to ruin people's minds into what he actually does.
A urine infection doesn't last 5-6 years.
No, it doesn't.
No. So I mean, if that's its excuse, what's Helen's? What's Emma's? What's their excuse? What's Helen's excuse for setting up a young mother, putting her into prison, lying about her child, the multiple fake allegations and malicious allegations she's made on multiple people?
Yes.
What's her excuses, and why doesn't she get arrested for her crimes?
Why do they all get NFAs?
Yeah. Well, even if it's an NFA or something, a urine infection doesn't last the 5-6 years. The reason I was being targeted, Helen, using my name, is by having the same surname as an author person that they're in a fight or argument with.
Yeah.
That's the only to try and drag me into, and it's got absolutely nothing to do with it.
No,
so whoever they're dragging into their argument and playing victim, there was no need, and I've got it all documented. Every single, there's no reason or no excuse as to why to drag me into that just for fun. I didn't find it any fun. It's alarming. It's concerning. It's allowed to go on, and the police are very, very aware of these people.
I know.
Human intelligence. Well, you have the Covert Human Intelligence Resources Act 2021, which now gives people who are on benefits or who have mental health, whatever it is, permission to commit crimes in order to get other people convicted. Go and look it up. Covert Human Intelligence Resources Act 2021.
Yeah.
So when you're wondering why people can do things online or get away with it online, they're employed by their own council, their local police force, or other people. The council can now employ people to do it.
Yeah. It's like when you're a drug dealer and you grass on other drug dealers.
It's not just that. It's anything and everything that goes. If you were against a certain lockdown and you were communicating about that, there's lots of why people can be recruited and how they're recruited or who they're working for and who not. And then they just go and have useful idiots to do their bidding for them. So whether or not they're on the payroll, money talks, doesn't it?
Money does
There's
talk.
no conspiracies.
Money does talk, and like I get accused of on the daily of being paid by certain individuals abroad or in Liverpool or anything like that. I've actually got a job, a full-time job, and I live a normal substance lifestyle of drug-free. I like a little tipple, but I don't need to come onto YouTube intoxicated or under any influence anymore to try to push someone's narrative, trying to beat someone or not. I'm just here for a little person.
The 2 years ago was around that time, you being pushed and a lot of argument going back and forth and you shouting, I know, and all of whatever. And again, it's not mine, it's just videos I've seen. But you're a lot calmer and for whatever, for your own peace of mind, your own family, your own people close to you are what matters, not people that you don't know.
That's what I'm saying. And a real gangster or a real criminal doesn't come onto YouTube and put any evidence out there of what they are going to do or what they're looking for, because at the end of the day, I've got a Discord group of fucking nearly 200 people, right? Won't lie about it. They all screenshot, record anything that this person says to help me after what I've been through. 26 months in jail for going to Humboldt riot, right? Doing what she's doing now. And you'll never win. You'll never win. Trust me now. I don't care who you are or what you say. You're never going to win against this man. Intelligence is key, and that's a fact.
the knowledge is power, depending on where you're at. But
Yes.
yeah, because the online is actually in place, so laws can be changed. So as long as people can mess up online, and go at this person, go at them, they can change the laws. So it's part of helping legislation. So the public.
When I look at this individual that says, I've got this, I've got that, I'm going to put it out, it's going to take 2 weeks, it's going to take a month. Well, any real person on here, in this dark corner of YouTube, as they call it, puts it out there and then, shows the receipts, do it how you do it. Prove it. Now, on my circumstances is right, I really, really, really couldn't give a flying monkeys about any of them. Really couldn't. My only question is, how did Paddy Conroy know that I went to jail, was going to jail 2 days prior? That's it. Now, we're looking at the tactics that they're trying to do, is trying to silence me, trying to chuck threats, coercive behaviour, malicious communications, and anything what's so necessary to shut me down. When I was in the jail, and these were trying to use me as a voice, but absolutely have to go and get one of the mates to say what they need to say, or try gain intelligence through. I could put one recording out there of her and Bri slagging Maria off to the nines. But why would they do that? That's wrecking someone's friendship. I wouldn't do it. It's not my nature to go and do that no more, because I know where it lands you.
Friendships are not the type of friends that don't have your back when you're not in the room. So the ones that don't have your back, when your name's protected and people have got your back when you're not in the room or the vicinity, then they're the type of people that are your friends. Gossip is very, it goes very fast. Travels very fast. So, a friend to all, that's the other saying, a friend to all is a friend to none. And the other one is, if things in life aren't adding up, start subtracting. We had so many things, people, stuff to our life, we're not subtracting it all to find out what really matters. Yeah? Because
you've seen what I said 2 years ago, you've seen what I said 3 years ago, knocking on 4. And the people I was targeting, the people I was going at, the same way these were, what these are trying to do now, is just because I can forgive, forget, and apologise, doesn't mean I'm in with these people. It doesn't mean I'm flying around high as mighty and wants to be a name again. I don't need a name. I can voice my opinion on here and 12 accounts will talk about it. But because I said Dodgy Dave and apologised to him and his wife, even after I had told them what I did. Now, what I did was horrendous and should never ever have done it. Same with Humble. He sat on Christmas night for 3.5 hours and talked it through as men, not online, and put it to bed. And same with anyone else, fighting Irish Anton Lewis's, anything like that. Julian Shufflins, I put them all to bed. I don't need to argue with no one on here. I sit on Axel's because I like the channel, I like him. I ring him up on the morning to see how he is, ask him how his day's going to go, what you're up to, and ask him on the night, are you well, are you stable, are you pushed, are you crack. I've showed him my family, I've showed him where I'm at and everything, and the lad's decent. I'm not getting brought into this shit. All I want to know is how that man in that shed knew I was going to jail 2 days prior to me getting sent down. How easy is that? It's not hard, and it's not hard to ask. The video's there. It's on Bellenders.
The answer, Paddy can answer that himself. All I remember from Paddy is when he started calling in from Wheezy's What is Truth channel. It's a few years back now. Calling in, I think, from Wheezy's What is Truth channel. It's a few years back now. 2020. So, yeah, it's just... You'll get your answers whether or not Paddy's going to be honest with you, but then honesty is not something everybody's playing at the minute. It is
I'll get my answers. I'll tell you what, I'll be brutally honest here. I'll get my answers when that documentary comes out about him. In fact, I'll say it now, and I'll be the first one to say it. Because people on that caliber can't get away with what they're doing. I was in the jail with his own nephew, who slagged and slated him and backed the people that he's just put away in jail. And that's gospel. That's what my mum was like. And she got
all these arguments all these arguments that are going on, they've been going on for many, many years, and many people have got many secrets and things that, 20, 30 years ago, they can get away with it. It's not quite the same now.
No.
So,
and this is where I've always wanted to know why this corner started, not the dark side corner, between the two fighters and what it's all about. I know it's from Facebook. I know it's because two fighters and two people pushing both strings, and the beef started from there. Because I know all that now, and I know what the end game is, I'm not bothered because realistically it's got nothing to do with me. I'm just a small fish in the
I think my main concern here is the youth, the way they're being used to continue to do the bidding for the adults that should know better.
Yeah.
And if we're thinking the children are the future and they are the way of the future, it shouldn't still be going on to this day where youths are being paid to smash up windows, cars, and do all of this. That's not.
I don't know
it's messing up that.
A kid.
But it's exploitation, isn't it? It's no different than trafficking them. It's exploitation of the youth and doing all of that. So I'm just saying, as things moving forward, I'm just seeing grown people, grown adults. And when I say grown adults, you're hitting past 35, 40s, into your 50s, 60s, even some people at 70 are doing it. What's shocking me is the amount of females, women, mothers, grandmothers.
Yep.
We birth boys, and they grow into men, and how can you sit back and condone this? So that's something for me. The United Kingdom, people are asking why it's kicking off. They feel that they've got a grievance, whether it will be with immigration. Well, no, we're not focusing on our own families, the first ones closest to us, and before everyone's causing problem elsewhere.
Yeah, totally agree. I totally agree with that. And the way I do agree with that is that you watch these adults, we'll call them adults, acting like children. Now, when I listen to this on a daily basis and people send me screenshots to send me recordings of what people said, and I sit there and I listen and I think, that's someone else on another side of the computer screen. That's someone's feelings. What happens if someone commits suicide? I always ask this question back in the day, who was the first person that was going to die on this or take their own life? I've always asked that question. When the day comes and the day happens that someone takes their own life because of what these people are trying to do, troll and roaster can deal with it. But when you're going deep down and personal, as these people do, when I first come onto this corner of YouTube, there was three things: protecting women, children, and vulnerable people. Now I see all
three are the main targets. Sorry, but they are the. If you go right back, I think even 20 odd years ago, there used to be groups forming on something called chat or some chat forums, Kiwi Farms. And they would specifically target people to get people to unalive themselves. Some of the people's aims online is to sit at the other end of the screen and get the person that they're targeting to do that. That's the sickness that we are in. We're in a psychological war. It may not be physical, but the psychological war is getting access to our children online. It's getting access to the females, the males, the people that are seen as weak, but because they're emotional people, to get them to take their lives, it's seen as an achievement from the other person.
Fact.
So it's been going on for many years. It's not like the government aren't aware. It's not like...
The government aren't aware now. When I got sent down for the twice, you've got to sit a parole hearing, and they've got to tell you why you've been recalled to prison. Now, there's a thing called an Oasis assessment. It goes right back to your early days. And when I was sitting reading my Oasis assessments, and I was looking why there was 147 allegations made to the probation service about myself, and 150 something to the police. Now, they've got to log that. They've got to log everything down. And in the little paragraph it says, the police do watch YouTube. Probation can't watch it because it's against protocol. Probation are not allowed to do that, but the police can. And I know that the police watches corner of YouTube. It doesn't matter who you are or what you say you're going to do.
They don't just watch. They don't just watch. They interact.
They do.
I mean, yeah, they don't just watch. And yeah, before it starts getting into conspiracy and people say, oh, you're conspiracy, you know, myself, I have evidence and proof. I know they don't just watch and things. So if you're saying something that could be influential or sway your problem anyway, sometimes.
Yeah.
Even talking, it can be all. You've got some officers calling their horses mind games whilst playing mind games with victims of crime, whilst protecting the perpetrators.
Yes.
I have evidence of that.
It is hard.
Protecting the perpetrators whilst demonising and targeting the victims. Whilst, you know, it's okay for horses. It sounds ridiculous. But again, if I was to name and shame a particular officer from a particular base, you can find the law, and at the same time question why a female is playing mind games with victims. So It sounds nuts, but it's not all officers. I'm not anti-police, I'm not anti-establishment or anything. It's just connections that have been going on for many years, and so some people have been working in their position 20 plus years. It's whatever connections they've got, but it can happen in any work placement. It can happen in the council, the police, anywhere you're working. It's just the individual it comes down to.
Yeah, it is. And at the end of all this, I've always said, and I'll always do, I'm doing me, I'm not doing you, and that's it. I know what the police, I know who's involved. Always look, you do not know who's watching this. You don't know if they come under a silly name, who it's going to be. It could be a police, it could be a barrister, it could be a hierarchy, high court judge, anything.
I can give you a name. Quad Blues or something was a forum, and a lot of people on that forum were barristers and lawyers and reporters in groups. And some people from there are genuine people wanting to stop people grifting or lying about certain things and pursue those cases. But there are also hidden people from those Quataloos from back in the day who have merged themselves into other groups today. And as I say, one of the connections of Emma, you can put, it's not unknown, but Barbara Houston was a barrister. She was sacked for abusing, survivor of abuse, and then she was reinstated. She's now deceased, but it doesn't stop the fact that she was rallying to lower the age of consent to the age of 13. It doesn't stop the fact that she was trying to protect Jimmy Savile and other people. So when you look into the names and the connections that they are connected to, having barristers in your pocket, reporters in your pocket, it's not an unusual thing. It's been going on for many years. A lot of it's people's opinions. But as I say, there are good people, and then there's bad people. So you'll have a group designed for the good, to help, or people infiltrate the groups.
Yeah.
It just doesn't matter where you go, whether it's a charity or a group or something. Somebody else has a different agenda, and that's it.
Understand that. I do understand it. It's like when someone calls someone a liar. No, this is my big problem at the minute. Is I've said things on here for donkey's years, and I watch people run with it. Now, the real Cumbrian truth who I started this channel with, he gave someone something years ago on a panel, and he said, if you're loyal to him, he's loyal to you. Now, you can't be loyal to someone on here after everyone snakes each other. So why would you give someone the truth about someone and try cause deceit and harm and distress to them when you can just talk shit?
In the basis and reality of life, you can barely trust less than 5 people in your whole life, whether that's family, friends, or... So I don't know why people think random straight. Trust is a thing that should be earned, not given straight away.
Yeah.
There's a normal human trait. You want to trust that everybody's got the best interest, and the human behaviour, as one of the animals, is most destructive. So
it is. It goes on and on and on and on. And I want to stick to my word here. Now, if you are listening ever, get help. Don't be something you're not. Be you. I remember the carpool karaoke's and speaking about the books and a bit of Bride's past. Stick back to that. This doesn't suit you. This is people ain't with you. People are laughing at you. And I know I've put about 500 people on this platform now that laugh at you for the way you carry on. Don't come with your boys and start thinking that you're gonna threaten me. I've already proved once you can't get close to me. Police never, no one never. Right? But don't come and start threatening people with disabilities, mental health, heart problems. Don't come and do that, because screenshots and recordings go a hell of a long way in a court of law. Now, people have rights to safeguard no matter what. You are doing this all yourself for the influence of 2 other people. Now, that is fact. That ain't no bullshit.
For the last 2 years or so, she's been with this, yeah? You've got to be mindful of the handlers that surround her as well, feeding their information into her ear. So I'm just trying to, the sudden change is the 2-year period. So it's working.
Yeah.
The plan set from 2 years ago, and I called onto a panel and I said what I've said. It's happening, and it's all because the ultimate plan is to get a custodial sentence. But yeah, as I say, there's handlers and there's people that claim to be friends, and yeah, they're not. So it's hard to not be able to speak freely. But
you can't speak freely on here. If you speak freely on here, you're going to cause World War VI or World War III. I've done it, and I've done it numerous times. I win the fucking biggest fish on here, on this corner. Didn't give a monkeys. But at the end of the day, people forgive, they forget, and they move on. But they'll always remember what they... Yes. And there's always someone here that always remember what you said about them in the past. Or done. So, that's it. Right? YouTube. I like it. Paddy. I've always suspected for a long time you've been a super grafter. Paddy. I've always suspected for a long time that you've been a super grafter. But now I think the smoke's getting to your head and you're getting old and you're slipping up. Trying to have Humble recalled to prison on the murder charge. Saying about that on YouTube. That spells a 4-letter word. GRASS. Flying first class up with the old bill in a VIP car with blue lights. You got an expressway in and out of the cop shop. Mr. Paddy. What was it now? You sit in your shed and now you're coming towards the end of your days and now you think that it's acceptable to put people back in prison. Now you're trying to get Humble put in prison on a murder charge. What fucking planet are you on, man? Newcastle. You're at Newcastle. Newcastle don't want you. The sailors have got Newcastle. You sit there in your little fantasy world, your delusion world, in your shed, making videos, boring people to death. Boring people, if you could kill someone by boring them to death and that could be a charge, then you should be guilty of that. Thank you, Alexander Food. I'm just a little bit shocked that, like or hate Humble Dry, like or hate, was it Cookies? Or what's the other geezer tumbling through? Putting people back in prison, it's not what we do, especially people like Paddy. And now he's on about having him put in prison for murder. Oh my God, man. This is what villainy has come to now. This is now, everybody knows that Humble plays the best. Put his address in the comments. I want to know where he lives. These situations now need to be dealt with. And for me, the bullying people online, not just bullying people online, but trying to ruin my career, trying to get in the way of my business, and trying to get in the way of what I'm doing. I think it's wrong. It's totally wrong, guys. Shit you, John Humble. I'm in the gym. I'm ready for you, Mosh. Bring your fair play, man. Bring your bum, boys. Shit you, John Humble. I'm in the gym. I'm ready for you, Mosh. Bring your fair play, man. Bring your bum, boys. Shit you, John Humble. I'm in the gym. I'm ready for you, Mosh. Bring your fair play, man. Bring your bum, boys.